Oh, he's painting again! Right back into it. That's the concrete wall he's painting, using purples towards the bottom for shadowing as opposed to just a darker grey. Because it's nice, it's just nice, isn't it? It's just nice, good. It's a bit nice to have a bit more colour in it. Plus, because it's purple, it's a little bit more sort of acrid and acidic, bit more gungy. You could even say a bit more sludge-like, considering we're painting a scene from Sludge Life, which is pretty great. That's the rapper sitting on that box there. The rapper, the frogman rapper, Big Mud. I like him. I like his eyes, his big bulbous frog eyes. I like him so much, I'm painting his fucking portrait. This is a scene from one of his music videos in the game, Sludge Life. If you're not really sure what that is, I made a whole video where I rant about it for like an hour or more, so go and watch that maybe. Oh, bit of spray paint for some extra texture in there, bit of splips and splaps for texture. I love painting and drawing shit on the floor, cigarette butts and paper and stuff. It's really simple, like shapes and things, but it adds so much texture to the ground with relative ease. It's good. I like it. It's good. So I'm painting that in almost everything I'm using. You can probably see in the paper and whatever else is going on. I'm adding little bits of like burnt and raw umber just to brown it up a bit, just make it a bit more dirty, a bit more sludgy. You know, in these trash bags, there's blues, a couple of blues, some cobalt and ultramarine, and then a bit of raw umber in there, just to tone it down a bit. Yeah, brown for the ground, some browns like yellow ochres and yellow ochre, raw umber, probably some burnt umber, bit of grey in there maybe as well. Just sort of you keep adding shit to your colours. Add this, add that until you get like a consistency in a colour that you really want. Made the ground a bit lighter there, trying to work on the contrast a little bit. The graffiti, adding the purple into the bottom of it so it blends into the wall a bit more, because graffiti should look like that. It should feel like it's part of the environment, yeah, rather than just being slapped on a wall. It should look like it's supposed to be there, like it's part of the wall. And some expertly placed purple there on the ghost character. And have I even mentioned the fact that I'm not using underpainting? You could probably tell right away, couldn't you? I certainly could if I were watching this, if I weren't me. Oh God, I wish I weren't me. It's just a sketchbook painting. It's in my sketchbook. It's just a quick, rough, little messy, sludgy piece. So the underpainting that would normally help sort of give it an even tone, especially where you can see I've left little white gaps here and there. It would weigh it down a bit more, keep it a bit more grounded and consistent. Maybe, I don't know. There's nothing against painting without an underpainting in general. Just I didn't feel up to it. It wasn't really necessary for this piece because it doesn't need to be too refined. So it's fucking whatever. Some sky. Wow, all the blue. See, because this scene is from a music video that's taking place in like a virtual reality environment, like a blue screen type thing. So I did that with a little bit of highlight, so it kind of looks like sky. I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just I'm just putting paint down. I'm not thinking too much about it all, just trying to make a cool little thing. And it was a cool little thing. I'm really happy with how this whole thing turned out. And now paying some attention to the guy, the man, the frog, the legend, Big Mud. Big fan of his work, which I guess is Dose One, the rapper. But yeah, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with how I got his tracksuit to look. I didn't add loads to it, no huge amounts of detail or anything, but I managed to get just the right amount, or I feel sort of just the right amount of highlighting and stuff on his tracksuit to make him look like a physical object, which didn't really take too much work, but I was really happy. And then these yellow lines on his tracksuit really add so much. I was so unexpected that would happen, but after I added them, I was looking at it like that. Just those yellow lines add so much to his figure, and yeah, I was really happy with like the depth of the figure that I painted of him. I think he fits into the thing really well, but like especially you'll see a bit later on, I get him to stand out, that he doesn't blend into it, but he fits into it. So you know, I was really rather happy with that. The whole painting, I think I was pretty happy with. Just adding in little bits of shadow here and there. A bunch of burnt umber shadows just to make stuff a bit more brown, so it didn't, the colours weren't too contrasty or whatever. And then with a lot of my paintings, especially more recent ones, I outline almost everything to make them more like drawings almost. But with this one, I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it looking like a painting. So as you can see, I'm only adding the dark tones into like the real sort of crevices and creases. A couple of outlines here and there, but mostly just for shadows. And again, I think I added those lines added to Big Mud have like really enhanced the figure there. And just little bits of shadow just under the papers and stuff, just to just give that little extra touch to add to the texture of the ground. Little bits of detail in the garbage bags and such like, and those things and what not and what have you. Fucking whatever. Fence. I thought about painting the fence like all detailed and like make it actually look like chain link as opposed to just mesh. Maybe even highlight bits of it, but I couldn't be bothered, so I just quickly painted in the checkerboard sort of look there, which get what you pay for with that one, don't you? It looks as good as I spent time on it. The glug posters, that's the corporation in the game. Got the details of those in there. Highlights on the cracks and things. Getting to the final. It's always the final bit when you get the white out and you just put in those little highlights on the ridges of things, just final little bits. And then this, I was actually quite apprehensive about painting the little bit of rim lighting there on Big Mud, but again, kind of surprised myself, and really I think that does a lot to add to the physical feel of that character within the painting. So I was really glad with that. And yeah, just a silly, fun little painting, about an hour and a half in my sketchbook. Not really for anything, just something to do. And sometimes that's enough, innit? Sometimes painting can just be for fun. Remember that. Remember fun. Oh.